Before we move on, it's really interesting because what we're actually discussing here is the entire attitude towards law enforcement as a whole. And this is something I've been researching heavily since I got out of jail. When I was in jail in Romania, I sat there and I was with a bunch of people in jail. And obviously you all discuss your stories. And one guy was in jail for looking in a car window. There was car break-ins on this street. He was walking up and down the street. The police caught him looking in a window. Didn't bring in the car. He was looking in the car and they arrested him and said, "We think you did it, jail." So the Romanian attitude towards justice is we may get a few innocent bystanders, but we just lock up everyone, but society is safe. Whereas if you look at the British or the American way, we have larger crime problems than Romania because we believe in individual liberty. So often with most law enforcement decisions, you have to decide, do you think of the ant or the ant farm? Because if you think of the ant farm, some ants just die. And lots of countries do this. Japan has a 99% conviction rate. Do you think that's because they're so fantastic at law enforcement? Or do you think that's because some innocent people go to jail because they care more about the perception of law and order than they care about one person's individual liberty? So this is what's interesting. It is the West that believes in, what about this individual's liberty? And it is other countries that think we're prepared to sacrifice some people for the greater good, for the good and sanctity of society as a whole. There are different approaches to law enforcement. That's why China and Singapore do that. China and Singapore, I will guarantee, have executed some innocent people. But in the end, less people have died. It's the same. It's the guy with the cart. You've seen the cart and there's one person in front and there's 5 people, the train on the tracks, and he has to pull the lever. That's all it is. And this is the approach to law enforcement globally. It's actually only Western nations that give a shit about individuality. In countries like Romania, they're like, people think he may have done it. He's a big guy. Fuck it. It's just fuck it. Fuck it. He looked in the car window. Maybe. But you can walk around at 3 in the morning with a diamond watch on. You're not going to have any trouble.